Well, I wanted to share an essay with you tonight, written by Chris Hedges. It has very much to do with what we're facing here in America and elsewhere, and it goes much deeper than the proverbial 24-hour news cycle. I'll try to read this in its entirety because I think it deserves attention. We live in two Americas. One America, now in the minority, functions in a print-based, literate world. It can cope with complexity and has the intellectual tools to separate illusions from truth. The other America, which constitutes the majority, exists in a non-reality-based belief system. This America, dependent on skillfully manipulated images for information, has severed itself from the literate, print-based culture. It cannot differentiate between lies and truth. It is informed by simplistic, childish narratives and cliches. It is thrown into confusion by ambiguity, nuance, and self-reflection. This divide, more so than race, class, or gender, more than rural or urban, believer or non-believer, red state or blue state, has split the country into radically distinct, unbridgeable, and antagonistic entities. There are over 42 million American adults, 20% of whom hold high school diplomas, who cannot read, as well as 50 million who read at a 4th or 5th grade level. Nearly a third of the nation's population is illiterate or barely literate, and their numbers are growing by an estimated 2 million a year. But even those who are supposedly literate retreat in huge numbers into this image-based existence. A third of high school graduates, along with 42% of college graduates, never read a book after they finish school. 80% of the families in the United States last year did not buy a single book. American political campaigns, which have learned to speak in the comforting epistemology of images, eschew real ideas and policies for cheap slogans and reassuring personal narratives. Political propaganda now masquerades as ideology. They do not require cognitive or self-critical skills. They are designed to ignite pseudo-religious feelings of euphoria, empowerment, and collective salvation. Campaigns that succeed are carefully constructed psychological instruments that manipulate fickle public moods, emotions, and impulses. They create a public ecstasy that annuls individuality and fosters a state of mindlessness. They thrust us into an eternal present. They cater to a nation that now lives in a state of permanent amnesia. It is style and story, not content or history or reality, which inform our political views and our lives. We prefer happy illusions. And it works because so much of the American electorate, including those who should know better, blindly cast their ballots for slogans, smiles, and the cheerful family tableau, narratives, and the perceived sincerity and the attractiveness of candidates. We confuse how we feel with knowledge. Part 2 will be coming up soon.